Hi, I'm Kerry Grinkmeyer. I'm the host of this channel, Best of Us Investors, and I like to think of us as a tribe. That's what I set out to do initially, was bring together a group of people who want to become better investors and then collectively put our knowledge together so that we make good investment decisions. We learn how to keep more of what we make, and our ultimate goal to build family wealth. In that effort, I've grown the channel now almost 150,000 subscribers. We have about 18,000 who show up at our Discord. And at our Discord, we share ideas. That's all part of making better investment decisions. As a result of that, I have learned over the last year that most of the stocks that I end up buying, I am not the one who researches and finds those stocks. It's the people in the Discord who bring them to my attention and then help me make good investment decisions. Well, about 6 months ago, Drew and I decided we should take this one step further. And that is to create an investment committee of people who are good at and like doing the due diligence on the stocks that our tribe members suggest to us. And we've been working on that, and we've been trying to put it together. And for the most part, we've kept it inside the Discord up until now. Well, this past weekend, we sat down and took a look at Palantir. It's a stock that's been on my radar for quite some time since they went through the IPO. I really like the haircut of their CEO. But with that in mind, I thought, okay, let's share this, what we did with Palantir. We did a Zoom call. We've cut it down to about 20 minutes, and let the rest of the world see what Best of Us Investors is all about. It would be our normal procedure to share this video that I'm about to show you just with the people who are part of the Patreon within our Discord. So hang with me. Let me do a little disclosure here. While that's up, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you see more of what you're about to see.
Best of Us Investors presents Kerry Grinkmeyer.
Okay. Again, what I want to emphasize is this channel is not all about Kerry. It's about a group of people who have like-minded ambitions to make money in the stock market, recognizing that we're competing with some very talented people. So we need to collectively work together to achieve a common goal. I have coined a phrase. No, I stole a phrase from Wayne Gretzky, and if I can say it properly, he says, I skate to where I believe the puck is going to be rather than to go after the puck where it has been. And that's how I approach the stock market. I have a clear vision of what the world is going to look like in 2030 as a result of the reading that I do. I then look for the stocks that are going to facilitate the change that is going to take us to 2030. I look for the stocks that are undervalued because the hedge funds and the big money are looking at what's happening today, where the puck is, rather than tomorrow where the puck is going. So this is a session we did just this last Saturday. Let me share it with you and give you an idea of what Best of Us Investors is all about. Watch this.
Now, if you were to have like 3 stocks, would you guys all agree that Palantir would be one of your top 3 positions that you would kind of invest your money in? It seems like we all do like Palantir, but guys like want to start with the concerns that you guys might have.
40 billion, 50 billion market cap.
Mm-hmm.
Insiders selling pretty aggressively.
Mm-hmm.
was 50% below this level for a long period of time, not that long ago.
Mhm.
I mean, that's what's keeping me from having a bigger position.
Yeah, I think it's, they got just a lot of numbers to burn off before I'm comfortable with it. I mean, no revenue is always something that bothers me, but they calculate off of a contribution percentage. And so in their 10K, they'll look at saying, well, we really are profitable. We take out that stock-based compensation. And if you look at that, because that's a non-cash type of situation, so they're not really paying cash out. They say we are profitable, so that's how they're trying to show their margins are going up. But for me, it's still there. But if you look at quarterly revenues, they're consistently going up quarterly in revenues. It's just that their expenses go up too, because with each contract, they have to go out and, number one, they got to market it. And according to their 10K, majority of their marketing comes from their senior managers and leaders, their president and CEO. If he went away, that would hurt the business a lot. I don't think he's going to. But they need to develop really a good marketing and sales and support for their customers, according to what I see.
After partnering with IBM, they now have like 2,400 people on the sales team to market Palantir's project. So I think that could be a big benefit for them as well. I mean, the one of the major concerns, additional to what James was mentioning about the valuation and the insider selling. So I think one concern that I had was the customer concentration, like a very small customer base. And then, they have a long sales cycle, so it takes a long time for them to actually make a deal.
It was kind of interesting on how they go and acquire a customer. They have the 3 phases, like Drew said, acquire, expand, and scale. And, acquire is basically when they go out and they give you a prototype and they don't charge you for anything for a certain period of time. That could be up to a year or more. And then the expand stage is when, okay, we like what we see. What do we need to do to kind of make it to our specifications? So the engineers, they work with them. Again, that phase doesn't bring in any revenue too much either. So they try to get everyone into the scale, which means, okay, now you're in, we're hooked in with you, full scale production, So it's kind of interesting how they do that, but it doesn't make any money basically for the first 2 phases.
And then the valuation I was looking into, so I think it's like 40 billion right now. And I was looking at how people were valuing Palantir, like the negative people. I think the major issue is the forward price to sale multiple of like 34 or something, right? And just to put this out, some analysts were saying that the appropriate valuation would be a multiple of like 15 or so, which will drag the price down to like 12 or 13 per share. So the most negative, the worst scenario that I saw was pulling the price down to the valuation down that much, where the share price would be about $12 to $13.
Also, another concern, which I have seen pop up, is privacy. I heard they got sued. There was a privacy concern of something like governments sharing their citizens' data with the company because they need to produce the software. That privacy could be something holding them back.
One concern, and that was like their competition. Another company that's kind of working on the same thing is Splunk, and like it's not that great in financials. Splunk is not that great, but like the institution hold for Splunk is like 94%, and Palantir is like 20%. So that was just one.
The other thing is, it's another one of these companies where the founders are going to control the voting rights for a long time. So if you're a kind of a shareholder that wants to be a participant in voting or directing a company in a certain direction, this is probably not the one for you.
Well, yeah, I think that reflects the general beliefs around the company. If you look at Seeking Alpha, analyst reports on it, it's like the ratio from bearish to bullish is 6 to 55 or something. So the bulls really outnumber the bears. They mainly try to get customers like the government, because government contracts typically last for several years, while the corporal ones usually last for about a year. So you have like a guaranteed revenue. Well, yeah, there's the $300 million contract.
Yeah, that's coming May, I think.
Yeah, with the United States Special Operations Command for the All Source Information Program. Yeah.
I mean, they're actually rapidly expanding into every aspect of commercial clients, which is what this whole series of the double-click demo days is going to be about. Governments, maybe 60% of their revenue, and that's going to change, I think, very rapidly. Somebody found some information. TD Ameritrade's looking to hire people that are trained in Palantir. So they're, putting together, connecting the dots that it would be Palantir that they were in talks to for this data analytics contract they want to bring in. And that's what this whole demo day thing is going to be. This double click thing is going to be one at a time, highlighting all the different areas that they're participating in.
I thought it was interesting just researching that 48% of the revenue, total revenue last year, were from foreign held companies or countries or governments, and 52% were from the United States. That was an interesting detail that kind of surprised me. They won't do any work for China, is what they said either.
Right.
They said that?
Yeah, that's right here. We do not work with the Chinese Communist Party, or nor will we.
I think they only work with democratic nations.
Yeah, they mentioned that they aren't going to be working with any dictatorship countries.
Which is a pro for me.
I think it's a real pro. I mean,
Yeah.
every democratic nation is going to be an ally, theoretically. What's the biggest pro at the top of your list, Drew?
How much time do you have?
What's the first thing that comes? What's the first thing that?
I mean, so the first.
Let's go with it.
So I like both the Gotham and the Foundry, and even the Apollo. The Apollo system is it's a really cool software. I think that's what makes this whole thing unique and it has a moat. But the first thing is I like that it has a government contract, right? I have a list here. Like there's so many contracts with the government, and as Tiago was saying, it's multi-year contracts. Now, the thing that I really like about being the front company that governments likes to do contracts, this is in data, right? This is really important, and privacy, everything. So I think governments, when they pick a company, they're really, really picky, because this is data, privacy, there can be a lot of issues, right? And the other thing is governments don't want to pick a company and then switch it to another company, right? They pick one with really high standards, and once they work with this company and they like it, they're going to stay with this company mostly, right? That's something I really like, that they have like a lot of contracts with the government. The other thing is they are on it's like I wouldn't say Tesla, but regarding data, they're like the company that has this huge amount of data from the government that they're syncing in. And this is all machine learning and AI, right? That's the good thing about Tesla, because they're way ahead on driving miles, right?
Yeah.
Autonomous, right? It's the same to me. If you look at Palantir, they are so way ahead with the data that they're syncing into their system. And this is like not just the enterprise, it's government data, right? So another thing is this is a great way to brand Palantir. The US military the FBI, the CIA is trusting this company to share their data. The other thing that I really like is it has Gotham, but it also has Foundry, where, James, you were saying that they're adding more and more contracts, like partnerships, right? I think if they were only focusing on government regarding revenue, it could go up right now because they're starting, right? But government, I think, has a limitation. And it's a long year contract. It's hard to get like, there's not so many governmental, contracts. But on the other side, they're growing. They have a potential growth in the enterprise market as well. And
huge growth.
yeah,
Yeah.
And they're adding more and more and more. So I think not just the government side, which I love, I also love, so this is another layer that I love about this company is they're growing in the enterprise, the Foundry platform. And, as you said, the mining, energy business, the cloud with IBM, their sales force is growing. The other thing is Kathy Wood. Look at the percentage of Palantir that they're adding. It's growing and growing. I think it's like in their 20 or 30th place in that fund.
I would love to understand how she didn't load earlier, like Mark and I did. I mean, at 10, 11, I think we'd be all having a very different conversation. We'll never understand how she thinks, but she carried a minuscule position for a long period of time, and now she's loading up on it, at this level. But
right.
Certainly doesn't hurt for the confidence. It's just a head scratcher. Where'd the light bulb go off? How did you not have this feeling, 9 months ago?
I don't know about possible competitors for Palantir, which could go in and just knock them off the spotlight. Although I do think that the possibility is far fewer because, again, they have these contracts with intelligence agencies and defense, and you have to be pretty trustworthy and go through a pretty tough security clearance to be able to do such a thing. So it could be that the US and the government is kind of hooked on Palantir and won't succumb to a competitor.
One thing that I think is cool about Palantir is you're talking about competition. So the moat is they have something called an ontology simulation engine. So what they're doing is they're copying the real life in a digital platform, and they're simulating the results, and they're comparing it with the real results, and they're kind of like matching. They're learning, and they're coming with these good decision makings. I don't think any other company is doing this. I couldn't find any other company.
Yeah, because you have to have data to be able to do such a thing, like Tesla. Because they have all these cars who already have driven lots and lots of miles. Mm-hmm. They have more data to work on and get a better system. So yeah, they do have a upper hand on that. So yeah.
And then when you say data, the reason that Palantir is outstanding is because the Apollo system, the software. This makes it possible for both Gotham and Foundry to get data from these environments where it's really even hard to get data, like the submarine, drones, these edge machines, right? And it's all real-time update and data collection and analysis. So I think they have a huge moat, and it's going to become bigger and bigger because they're updating their machine learning as they collect these data points. Now, if you were to have like 3 stocks, would you guys all agree that Palantir would be one of your top 3 positions that you would kind of invest your money in?
I would. I mean, top 3, top 5, yeah.
Right. For me, definitely. Definitely it's in my top 3 and 5, I would say.
Yeah, I got some concerns, short term with some of the numbers I see, but, long term, I'm seeing some good trends. Once they get through this stock-based compensation and this, all the shares that are sitting out there that can be, liquidated at any time. Mm-hmm. I think I don't think I need to buy it today. I think we're going to have opportunities. I think, like James said, demo day is coming up, and I think you're going to get a little bump off that. I think, people are going to get in, and then you'll have your profit takers. I think you're going to see some opportunity to pick up after that. Of course, I'm not a mind reader. I don't know. It could go to 35 and stay there. I don't know. But I think long term, it would be kind of like an MP for me. If I was going to stick it in for 5-10 years, I think it's going to be a great company, if not even sooner. it'd probably be 2 or 3% at some point.
Well, I like what they have to offer. Yeah.
Do you own it?
Oh, no, not yet. But I think I may buy in a small stake. Maybe buy it around 21, 22.
Yeah, I do own it, and it would probably be like top 5, top 7 as well.
That being said, even though it's top 5, top 7 for Drew and yourself and myself, none of us have full positions though. We all have a position, but still looking to scale and acknowledging there could be periods of weakness. You know, all of us like it. None of us have full positions. Some of us have no position. Wouldn't surprise any of us if it goes lower. You know, wouldn't surprise me if it shoots up, which is why I bought recently. I just didn't want to be naked for something that I looked at as being very valuable.
Right.
So what price would you guys buy it at if you had a optimum price? What would you say? Oh crap, that's just too good to let pass by.
I mean, 2 weeks ago, I was insisting to Drew that he overpaid and we'd get it below 20. And then I think I paid high 22s when I bought it. So just that 10% less didn't seem to be worth it to feel naked and have it on my mind at night. Like, you know, I don't want to be naked going into this demo day run. It might not even just be hype that then drops on a lockup. I mean, this series of demo day events is really going to showcase all the industries they're in, you know, with commercial enterprise clients.
And I think that's good. But at some point, they're going to have to back it up with profits, you know.
Yeah.
Let me I'll just show you one thing that I just want to share. So for the demo day, I kind of looked into, like Mark was saying. So this is Palantir stock. I put like an arrow here. So this is the first demo day, the 26th of January.
Mhm.
And this is when it started like going up, right? It's like 25th and like 2 days before the stock got that momentum because of the demo day. And
yeah,
I think that might happen. So that's something to kind of keep an eye on. I think, you know, the RSI is kind of low, so it really might happen. And the other thing I looked into was the put in calls. So this was kind of cool. This is April 16th, so 2 days after the demo day, right? These are the call options that are out there. And right now it's $23-4. So if you look at the volume, right? If you look at the volume, it kind of increases. And then here, boom, like at $24, you can see the volume is like in 20,000s. Like 25 is 32,000. And then it's still in there like 8,000, 9,000, 6,000. And then at 30, it's even 12,000, the volume, right? And if you look at the puts, this is the volume. You can see the volumes are like, the highest is like 3,000, right? And if you go to the bottom, this is the ratio of the puts and calls, and it's 0.16. So there is so much bull, like a positive momentum coming up on that demo day. And I think, as Mark was saying, I wouldn't want to miss out maybe on, like, you know, it could go down, but I'm saying, to me, it seems like there's a possibility that it's going to really go high, not just based on my thought, but based on these puts and calls and like, the past history of the demo day. So
yeah, at the same time though, calls are like crack. I mean, calls are what a lot of people who don't have enough money gamble with, and I think you got to take that ratio with a grain of salt. I think the call ratio is always going to be higher, you know, most of the time.
Would you guys think of Palantir as a long-term position, or would you plan to like sell in a couple of years? What's your opinions? For me, this is a long position. I don't plan to sell any. I would just add more if it goes down 20 or maybe near 15.
Totally agree. Very long-term position. If it goes down and the opportunity presents itself, might take an additional position that would be looked at as a swing.
Mhm.
But what I have right now, I bought to have, in effect, forever.
Yeah, I mean, my position that I have right now it's just for a swing. Like I'm not playing long term in what I have right now, but like in the future, yeah, definitely a long term position.
Right now, I don't have any, so I'm just kind of watching. I'm more. I think it's really cool. I think it has a lot of potential. I think it hasn't shown any profit yet, which is always one of my key things that I look at. I see that it's trying to get that direction, but I think they have a long way to go up front just on expenses. But if I got back into it, I would be in it to stay.
Okay, that was Drew, Tiago, Mark, James, and Noodle. A variety of people who like to spend time finding good investments. A group of people who want to help other people, who want to participate in something bigger than themselves. And that's what we've put together. That's what Best of Us Investors is all about. It's something bigger than Carrie. It's something bigger than Judy. It's something bigger than Drew or James or Noodle. It's something bigger than Mark, so that we can collectively benefit from each other's knowledge and input. If this is something that you'd like to be a part of, as I said, this is a part of our Discord, what you just saw. And I wanted to just give you an idea of what we're doing over here at Best of Us Investors. And if you want to be a part of it, go to bestofusinvestors.com, give me your name and your email address, and then I will send you an invitation to our Discord. Okay, I think this is exciting. What we're really trying to do is build something very comparable to what Kathy Woods is doing. She and I think the same way, that we're looking for technological disruption that is going to take this world into the future. And the future is going to be driven by technology. We need to know that. Okay? So I hope to see you again. Look for you tomorrow.